Introduction of the Handbook to the Rivers and Broads of Norfolk and Suffolk. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Handbook to the Rivers and Broads of Norfolk and Suffolk by George Christopher Davies. Introduction. Since the first appearance of this handbook, and the larger volume on the same subject, which the preface to the first edition stated to be in contemplation, the Broad district has become highly popular. Each year the tourist stream increases, but, happily, there is still plenty of room. No doubt some of the old habitués who like to have the whole landscape to themselves grumble at the change, but the less selfish persons, who happily constitute the majority, do not object to seeing a dozen yachts where formerly they saw but one, or a score of anglers where, in past years, but half a dozen might be seen. A large trade has arisen in the letting of yachts, boats, and pleasure wherries for cruising purposes, but the inn accommodation has made little advance, and is still too meagre and insufficient for the demand. The yachts have made great strides in speed and in number. The Norfolk and Suffolk Yacht Club has flourished exceedingly, and its regattas are popular. Artists have found out the charm of the quiet scenery of the Broads, and visit us in great numbers. Notably Mr. E. H. Fahey and Miss Osborne have given exhibitions in London devoted to the district. Then littérateurs without number have written magazine and newspaper articles, and others, after a few days' scamper, have written exhaustive guidebooks, and so the ball, which the present writer set rolling in earnest some years ago, is helped merrily forward, and the rivers and broads of Norfolk and Suffolk are fast becoming one of the most popular of English playgrounds. I should like to put the brake on a little in one respect. One guidebook writer appears to treat the riverside meadows as commons, and suggests that yachtsmen should bring lawn tennis sets and cricket materials with them. Pray don't take such absurd advice. All riparian owners adhere stoutly to their just rights. It must be remembered that the rights of the public are limited to passage along the navigable rivers and the navigable broads, and the use of the banks of navigable waters for mooring purposes and for towing. The soil of the greater part of the river beds is vested in the Crown, therefore angling is free to the public. Strictly speaking, the shooting over the Crown rivers is free, but this does not give persons a right to shoot an inch over the banks. Looking to the fact that the Bure is very narrow and passes through private game preserves, let me earnestly entreat visitors not to fire off guns either at birds or at bottles, which last amusement appears to be a favourite one above Acle Bridge. The sport to the visitors is nil, while the annoyance to the riparian owners is extreme. The riparian owners are generally willing to afford the well-behaved public all reasonable facilities for enjoyment. Let this be repaid by the public refraining from potting away at water-hens and pigeons, or other birds on the banks. It may be well to add that, up to about the year 1830, the Broads and wet marshes were simply waste, but by the Enclosure Acts and Awards, these watery commons were allotted and divided among the neighbouring landowners. In some cases the rights of navigation
Sample complete. Ready to continue?